All right, in theory, we're on the air. This is Dave Furneaux and co-host Gordy Rush. This is Go Central, celebrating all the great things in Central that make Central the greatest place on earth to live, work, and raise a family. Tonight, we're going to be talking with Michelle Lewis and Kevin Keithley of the Central Food Bank, and a long time charity here in Central. And Michelle took over the reins, and Kevin has joined her some years back, and we'll talk about all that history. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube Live. You're welcome to make comments. We will try to read your comments. You see me staring off to the side. It's not I'm not distracted. I'm looking at your comments to try to let you pitch in. Gordy, you're on the road. What's up with that?
So my wife and my family are a little under the weather, so I do apologize. So my oldest, I'm doing a few extra honeydews. So we don't recommend doing Zooms and driving, but I did not want to miss the show, so I'm going to be very careful tonight, Dave.
There you go. It's amazing what we can do with technology now, and COVID has really kind of brought all this to the forefront. So Michelle and Kevin, glad you could join us tonight.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for everything you do at the food bank. So tonight we're going to throw a couple of questions out to the anyone that's joining us via Facebook or YouTube Live. What other charitable organizations should we have on Go Central? Just tell us who you'd like to see brought in here to tell their story and tell us about their charities. And if you have a Central Food Bank story as a volunteer, as someone delivering food or donating food, or maybe even sharing a story that kind of touched you that the food bank's been involved in, feel free to give us a couple line stories so we can share your story too. So I guess we'll just jump right in. Well, we have a good question right up front. I'll come to that in a second. Michelle, can you give us, or Michelle or Kevin? I'm sorry, Keith. Can you give us a kind of a history of the food bank?
Well, the food bank started in 1986. It was founded by my father, Dennis Lewis, Doug Welburn, and Bill Westbrook, and many other volunteers. They actually started it in a little room at the fire station on Sullivan Road. And over time, the fire station started growing and they needed the room. So there were two volunteers there that were originally recipients of the food bank, and that was Pete and Anna Marie Grissom. And they took the food bank and moved it into their house. And when I say they moved it into their house, it literally took up every square inch of their home, their carport, their patio, their sheds, you name it. They had it everywhere. And they operated the food bank from 1988 until 2015. And unfortunately, Mr. Pete passed away. And prior to that, he had asked Kevin and I if we would help Miss Anna Marie keep the food bank going. Well, of course, we said yes. Well, we figured we would just be, just the hands, the silent partners, that Miss Anna Marie would coordinate everything, and that we would just help her out or go pick things up for her or whatever. And then she had health issues of her own, so she moved in with her daughter, and we weren't about to let the food bank die with that. So Kevin and I stepped up, and we've been running it ever since. Moved it out of their home
and brought it mainstream, and opened up a first location on Hooper Road right there near Mr. Jean's haircut place.
Well, let me jump in. The Grissoms were neighbors of ours, about 5 houses down from us for the last 25, 30 years. And I do remember also, not too many, just several years before they gave it up, the community actually got them another building there down at the end of the driveway, and moved a lot of that stuff. They thought they were going to move a lot of it into the building, and ended up being about half of it. But I remember.
It was actually a friend of ours, a state trooper friend of ours, Chase Huball, who he knew us. He knew what we were doing with the food bank and stuff. And he wanted to help the Grissoms. So he went around and organized it and everything and got builders to come in, and they built this gorgeous building in their backyard. And
100% of it was donated,
Yeah.
and donated time and labor.
that's right. So
Yeah, I
it
know
was
that
awesome.
Dwayne Gafford was there helping to get it installed, and some of the other local builders.
Yep.
So
That's fascinating. I'm learning. I've lived in Central for 10 years, and before reading the notes to the show, I was not aware there was a food bank out there. So, give me an idea? What have been the most effective things you've done for outreach and fundraising and food drive type things?
Well, first and foremost, it was when, like Kevin said, when we moved it out of the Grissom's home and we got a actual building for it on Hooper Road.
Bricks and mortar, yeah.
But that little building was maybe 500 square feet.
500 square feet.
Maybe 500 square feet. It was very small, but we made it work.
One room.
Yeah, one little room, very small. And as time went on, we kept getting bigger and donations kept getting bigger. So we needed a larger place to go. And this was our first choice that we wanted. And at the time, it just wasn't available. So I told Kevin to go back and check it again.
Well, I mean, with that little building, we were there during the flood.
Yeah.
So, after the flood, we were set up on Saturdays. We didn't know, how donations were coming in, but we wanted to do more just for a lot of our recipients had moved out of Central because their houses flooded. So we opened up the food bank to anybody that flooded.
That's right.
And we gave food out to anybody and everybody in Central that flooded. All you had to do was show us your driver's
ID.
license with your ID showing you lived in Central, and we gave you a bag of food.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
That was part of what we decided to do, since our regular recipients weren't receiving the food. We were still giving out.
Mm-hmm.
Donations came in from Mississippi and Texas and stuff for us to do that.
Yeah.
We had gotten a couple storage units to store the stuff in because we had so much coming in. And then after that, about 3 months after that is when we moved into the location we're at now.
Yeah. Kevin went and saw the Martellos right there at Confederate Heating and Air on Sullivan. And that building was available, and that's where we've been ever since. And we absolutely love it. I mean, of course, it could always be bigger, but we could not ask for better landlords. And it's a really great location where we're at. Our seniors can get in and out of our driveway safely. So they don't have to worry about the big 18-wheelers running down Hooper Road. But I mean, even when COVID started, everything was shut down. Kids were out of school, and I threw it out there on Facebook. I said, look, y'all, we need to do something for the kids. And people, they couldn't get it from the grocery stores, but they were ordering stuff from Amazon, treats and cookies and all that stuff. And they were having it shipped by Amazon to the food bank. So we would open up on Saturdays, and
that was one of our biggest accomplishments is, we were hearing about all these other organizations and stuff that was closing. We didn't. We just changed how we did during COVID. Yeah. Instead of having, clients come into our place, we normally open Thursdays from 9 to 3 and then from 5:30 to 7. We're one of the only food banks that work with people that work. So we open up at night to, people that are making money that just can't get quite there, to get on their feet. So we cater to those people, and we open on nights. But we closed down on Thursdays. And we did 2 Saturdays a month drive-through location. So that way there's no contact to people. We would put stuff in their trunk and they left. We did it for kids and we did it for adults and stuff. And that was a big accomplishment for us, to do that.
Well, Michelle,
can I ask you, just being a Central citizen, how are the 3 best ways for a citizen to get involved in helping and supporting the food bank?
Well, I mean, anytime we can be contacted, we'll come in. You know, you can come in. We'll give you a tour of what the food bank looks like. Show you the workings of it. You know, let you come in and see all our things that we have inside the food bank. That's not a problem. We're not hiding nothing. But
we enjoy giving tours.
As far as just like if people want to, we take monetary donations through our Facebook page and our website. We have a lot of people that, donate monthly to us to, because we provide, cold stuff. We provide cheese. We provide hot dogs, hamburger and stuff like that to seniors and people also. So, I mean, we go out every month and we buy stuff, not along with the canned goods and stuff. So, I mean, we take monetary donations through our website and also our Facebook page.
Well, do you take volunteers?
Yes, we do.
Always take volunteers.
Always take volunteers. We have a junior volunteer program where we have a lot of teenagers that are middle school and high school for beta clubs hours and stuff. They'll come in and help sort cans and stuff. During Thanksgiving and Christmas, where we give out extra meals to full Thanksgiving dinners and full Christmas dinners to people, and we're up there on Wednesday or Saturdays before the holidays, procuring the hams and the turkeys and stuff. And I think Dave, your daughter's donated your time with us, 2 or 3 different years.
That's right.
So I mean, we always love seeing her.
Well, she's out of circulation with a new baby. Have I mentioned I have a grandson? I do that once every show just for the heck of it. So how does one volunteer? Actually, let's go. Where do people donate, and how do they volunteer?
Well, as far as if they want to donate monetarily, they can visit our Facebook page, and they can just go to the link that'll go to our website. And there's a donate now button, and you just hit the donate now button and you go from there.
Is it called Central Food Bank?
Central Food Bank is the website or the Facebook page.
Okay.
Stop stepping on me.
The website is cityofcentralfoodbank.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where the food bank is actually located at 12023 Sullivan Road. Yeah. Phone number is 261-8098.
Mm-hmm. And like we said, we're only open on Thursdays. And the reason we do that, we used to be open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we started getting requests. I would kind of poll our clients every so often, what do you want to see from your food bank? And they would say evening hours, because I can't always make it here in time by the time y'all close. So when we opened up at the new location on Sullivan Road, that's what we did. We went to one day, but we have we're open from 9 to 3. And then we come back again. Kevin and I come back in the evening, and we're open from 5:30 to 7. And that way we can service those clients that, get off work or whatever. And that has worked out extremely well.
But we're open Thursdays, first, second, third, and fourth Thursday of the month. The third Thursday of the month is unusual because we do a program called shut-ins, where we actually deliver to people that don't drive. We have people with their disabilities and wheelchairs. We've had people that were deaf and blind and stuff that we delivered to, where other food banks don't do that. So, I mean, we really, go out of our way to take care of, make sure they eat.
So how do you volunteer?
You can either come to the food bank and you can talk to any of the other volunteers there, and they will guide you through and get you started and show you how to sort, date, and stock cans. That's always fun. If that, you don't have time to get down there, you can contact me through our email address, through our or on Facebook, and I'll get back with you and we'll set up a time where they can come. I usually like new volunteers to come in the evenings when Kevin and I are there. It's usually a little slower in the evenings, so I have a little more time to explain it to them and figure out which shift they want to work on, because we actually work 3 different shifts. So it's 9 to 12, 12 to 3, and then 5:30 to 7. So they can pick which shift is more convenient for them. And They don't have to come every week.
It's not an every week type of commitment. You know, we have some people that only do it once a month.
Yep.
You know, we have one guy that's looking at, you know, taking an old delivery program for us and getting deliveries off our chest because he wants to give back to the community. So, I mean, there's other ways out there that's not a big time commitment.
Let me
What about seasonal?
Go ahead.
Let me, Dave, I was going to ask seasonal. When are the busiest times for you at the food bank?
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and summer.
We had someone type in a question. Since school is out, has the need gotten greater for food? Kind of ties in with this question. With schools out, is that one of your peaks?
It does. Because we have a lot more families that come during the winter or the summer, I guess. But you know, in the fall, we get support from all the schools, Central Private, Central High School, and intermediate and stuff. They set us up for the year. Yeah. Their food drives, Central kids go above and beyond, and their food drives set us up for the year for your standard items, corn, green beans, and stuff like that. Some of the other, other stuff that we have to still purchase and stuff, but the kids do fantastic on the items.
But especially like for right now, when during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then in the summer with, the kids getting out of school and everything, we go through a lot of kids type snacks and the fruit drinks and chips and cookies and things like that. Peanut butter, we go through a lot of peanut butter. Peanut butter goes out in every bag we give out. It's protein. So whether you're a kid or if you're a senior, you're going to get peanut butter.
Well, while you're on that subject, what are the top 4 or 5 or 6 things that you always need?
Usually peanut butter,
and peanut butter,
Jiffy cornbread mix, macaroni and cheese. Those are the 3 top things that we're always in need of.
We go through a lot of that.
Well, Michelle, if I can maybe get a little personal here, you're a daddy's girl. Mm-hmm. That's true? So you're not here just because the Grissom's approached you. This goes a lot deeper for you. Are you in a mood to share a little bit about really what draws you into this?
Well, being the fact that my dad was one of the ones that started the food bank, and he was very passionate about the food bank. Because Daddy knew a man, he was called Central Santa, and his name is William Chambers. And Mr. Bill would go around, Daddy would take him to his appearances during the months of November and December. And he would do parties, Christmas parties, he would play Santa Claus. And anytime he was asked, well, how much do you charge? He says, I don't charge, just make a donation to the Central Food Bank. So that's, Mr. Bill would always give back. And that was one of Daddy's ways to give back. And then my father passed away in January of 2013. And Kevin and I wanted a way to honor him. And since the food bank was one of his passions, we came up with Central Feeding Central. And it was a food drive done in November and December to raise turkeys for Thanksgiving and all of the fixings, and then hams for Christmas and all of the fixings. And we would give away complete Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners. And we've been doing that ever since 2013. And it has grown. I mean, when we first started it, it was just, a few people donating here and there. It wasn't anything big. A lot of it was my friends around Central that would bring hams or turkeys. And then we partnered with Megan at Winn-Dixie, our amazing manager at Winn-Dixie. And she books it a year in advance for us. Those Saturdays that we go and we do the turkey drive and the ham drive are booked a year in advance. And we go stand out in front of Winn-Dixie for 8 hours, and we get the turkeys that we need and the hams that we need and all of the fixings. And, I really think, daddy would be proud.
8 hours.
Yeah. Well,
it's not just short hours. We're usually there from 6 in the morning to 6 at night.
But that's the regular hours. So, but I really think my dad would be proud that, the food bank, where it's come from and where it is now. Even we had found out over time that when the food bank got started, our seniors were getting the big boxes of the commodities. Somehow over time that got taken away from Central, and they would come once every 3 months and they would set up at the fire station, and they would give just a couple of little bags of oddball things. It wasn't even a meal. They couldn't even make a meal. And it took Kevin and I from 2015 to 2020 to finally contact the right channels to get the commodities back in Central for our seniors.
The 50-pound box.
The big boxes, the good stuff. So it's not just, it's not a waste of their time, going to the fire station and getting a thing of pasta and a thing of corn and some fruit juice. They're actually getting a big box of stuff and the big block of cheese and all of that. So that was a huge accomplishment, was to get that back.
Well, Michelle, I just knew your dad to say hi. It was not a friend, but I knew him, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's proud of what you guys have done, and he's smiling on you.
Well, thank you. If I can take a second, and I want to. About 3 years ago, we started a program called the Barrel Sponsorship Program, where we sell advertising on the barrels that are around Central, school barrels, and we sell Winn-Dixie barrels and some of the other barrels that we put out. We sell sponsorships on there, and that helps fund the food bank and stuff. If I just can go through this list and give a shout out to these companies that have been behind us and really supportive. Companies like Rogers Regional Eye Center, Central Storage, Central Plumbing, the Rubber House, GM Cable, Michael Lohr State Farm Office, Central Pharmacy, Confederate Heat and Air, Auto Care Associates, and Lewis Recker. Also want to give a big shout out to, they're not a barrel sponsor, but they are a very large sponsor of the food bank, because all the barrels, when they're not in use, have to be stored somewhere. So AA Mini Storage has given us a storage facility to use, or a storage unit to use at no cost for about the past 2 years or 3 years. So without them, we'd be overrunning our house.
Yeah. We would be like the Grissams. We would have it everywhere. Go ahead.
While you're mentioning your benefactors, I do know that there's also some charitable organizations in town that are very supportive. I think churches and I think the fishing team. Can you maybe mention a few of those?
Yeah.
Well, we have our churches, our Zor Baptist Church, Blackwater United Methodist, First Baptist Church, Journey Church, and then all of our schools. But then we have our Central Bass team that goes above and beyond every year. They get special permission. They do a food drive for us, but they got special permission. It's normally catch and release. But when they do their food drive for us, they catch and keep. And they do all the fish up, they bag them up, freeze them and everything, and they bring them to us. And that gives our clients fresh fish. And I don't know if you've bought fish lately, but fish is very, very expensive. So this is, just something extra, extra special. And
the clients seem to like it.
They love it.
The kids are doing this for.
Yeah.
And that means more to them.
We've even had with Cooking in Central, where the leftover barbecue or jambalaya or whatever, they brought it to us and we've packaged it up and we give that to our clients, and they've had barbecue and jambalaya and brisket and it's a huge treat for all of our clients. They everybody in Central goes above and beyond for Central. And that's one thing I want to say. Any donations made to the City of Central Food Bank stays in Central to help Central families, period.
Nice.
Doesn't go everywhere else.
For the most part, yes.
Yeah.
Was there's been a couple of times, and our board has stood behind us. There was like a lady outside of Central, but a fire department, I mean, not a fire department, but a rescue squad called to us at 3:00 in the morning saying that they came across this house or family, the senior that did not have any food. And we met the fire department or the rescue squad up at the food bank at 3:00 in the morning to give them bags of food to give to the lady outside of Central.
I'm sorry. So, I love these stories. I love stories like that.
I mean, if it's somebody that's reputable, a social worker or somebody like that, they'll contact us. We're designed for Central, but we're here for anybody. But we're not just going to take Joe's word for it. It has to, come from
the proper channels.
The proper channels, but we're there.
But that was a senior citizen lady, and she was a diabetic, and she didn't have any food whatsoever. And the EMT, I actually went to school with him, and he called me and he says, "We need help, and I can't get in touch with anybody else. And can y'all help me?" Like, yeah, I'm not going to let somebody go hungry. So, and that's happened, 3 different times that something like that has happened.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so you bragged on the businesses and churches. Brag on some of your volunteers.
My volunteers, I have the best volunteers. I really do. Unfortunately, a lot of our volunteers, we miss them so much because of COVID, and they're seniors and stuff like that themselves. So they had to back away from the food bank, and I totally get it, and I can't wait for them all to come back. But in the meantime, we have a whole new crew, and they are the most amazing volunteers, the most amazing women. They go above and beyond, and anything I could ask, they take care of. They take care of our clients so well. They even bring in eggs. So our clients get fresh dozens of eggs every week.
Yeah, a lot of our volunteers have chickens, and they bring in eggs each week. So, we have there's a senior, not a senior, but she's a pregnant lady here in Central. She can't eat eggs right now because she's pregnant, and she brings us eggs every week. We can't just say so much about residents of Central.
Yeah. Well, the support that we get from Central, but our volunteers, we have some amazing volunteers. I have an 84-year-old lady that is a volunteer, and you don't get in her way.
Miss Jane.
Yeah. Kevin, her first day there, Kevin went to pick up one of the commodities boxes and take it to a car for a client, and she nearly knocked Kevin out the way. She says, I got this. And she picked up, and I'm telling you,
better than I can.
Those boxes are extremely heavy. And she picked that thing up like it was a feather, and out to the car she went with it. It was just, but we have.
And one of our youngest volunteers get ready to come back to us.
Yes.
A girl named Ava. She's a school student, and she's got out of school, so she's going to start volunteering again.
Thursday again.
I think she's starting high school this year.
Yeah.
My dad is 88, and about 2 years ago started trying to volunteer. He said he worked 2 or 3 times. He said, Dave, I'm just too tired at the end of the day. I don't have this in me anymore. It's not easy work. He's not in bad shape, but it wore him out. You guys do work.
We miss him. He was good. Yeah. We miss him.
It is tough. I mean, it's very tedious, especially when the donations come in, and everything that comes into the food bank has to be checked. It has to be dated and sorted and stocked and then put on the shelves and organized for Kevin to pack bags. And, without the volunteers, it would, I'm sorry, I'm good, but I'm not that good. It would take me forever to get all that stuff done. And our volunteers, they get it done, and I never can thank them enough. They're the best. They really are.
So
I just wanted to compliment Dave. I got to compliment y'all's passion. I mean, obviously, it runs in the family, and being in the radio world, getting a chance to deal with so many non-for-profits, it's just so touching to see how passionate both of you truly are for this food bank.
Well, you see, the food bank is actually my second full-time job. My first
Yes.
full-time job is my company, Lewis Record.
Right.
And it literally, the food bank, it's not, I don't look at it as a job, or, it's an amazing experience. And we get to meet amazing people. We have so many amazing people here in Central. And some of my clients are people that I've actually known since I was a little kid. These were friends of my grandparents and my parents. And, senior citizens on fixed incomes that have to choose if they're going to get medicine, eat, pay a bill. It's ridiculous. But, it's the little things that make it great, So, and we enjoy it. We do. We get to work with the best people, and we have the best clients, and they truly appreciate it.
Sweet.
That's what we're here.
So what does it look like when a client drives up on a Thursday? What's the process?
Well, if they're a new client, they come in and they're greeted by one of my morning volunteer that runs the computer is Tom Sloan, or his lovely wife, or they alternate weeks. And if they're a new client, they're given an application, and Tom will sit them down and get whatever documents we need. There are some documents that we have to have. You have to make sure that they live in Central, and income. Things that, income, and basically how many people are in the household, because we have to have proof of that. So we know exactly how much food that family should get. And we have a system that breaks it down, how many bags each family gets.
But until they're approved, they're sent away that day with a welcome bag. Yeah. So, you never leave without no food. Right. The welcome bag usually contains enough for a day or two just to get you back till we can get you back in to get you fully, approved and get you on the books.
It's very rare that somebody's not approved. It really is.
And we have actually in the past, we've had some people come to us that they were homeless. Mm-hmm. So we have certain things that we set aside for that type of situation. They're like tops, things that doesn't require cooking. Mm-hmm. And we have silverware that McDonald's has donated and stuff like that. So we can actually cater to people that are homeless too. Mm-hmm. We don't just with that we just require an ID. We don't require that they live in Central. Don't require any income or anything. We just take it on their word that they're homeless at that point.
So I guess I was also asking, so they pull up and they walk in and pick food, or you have everything ready for them? It's by appointment, or
everything is already pre-bagged. We have a unique system. When the Grissams were running it, 1 to 2 to 3 people would get one bag of food. 3 or 4 and larger families would get 2 bags of food, but they were the same bags. Okay, just double of what it is. So when we took it over, we came up with the bag system where one bag is for 1 and 2 people. 3 and 4 get 2 bags, and 5 and more gets 3 bags. But bag 1 gets vegetables, your staple items, your vegetables, cornbread, stuff like that, spaghetti sauce, fruit, spaghetti noodles, stuff like that, tuna fish.
breakfast items.
Second item or your second bag gets your vegetables because everybody always needs vegetables. But then in the second bag, you get instead of the hamburger or instead of getting the spaghettis and the spaghetti sauce, you get hamburger helper. You get other meal ideas with that. So that way you're not always eating the same thing. And the third one you get deeper breakfast items. You get more breakfast items. You get more items like that.
By the time you're getting to 2 and 3 bags, you're looking at more children. So when you're getting 2 and 3 bags, there's more things that are geared for kids. There's more snacks
and drink cups and stuff
like the Chef Boyardee stuff, the spaghetti noodles and stuff like that for kids. And then of course the regular meals that mom would cook. So and breakfast items.
And then
juice.
We also have during like Mardi Gras, anything that we get in that is Louisiana-based products, we give the jambalaya mixes and stuff out like that.
Sorry, you can tell he's not from Louisiana. Spring Lent, y'all. Okay, now you can go.
And then in May, we give out all our Mexican foods items because of
for Cinco de
Mayo. I mean, we sort of,
he makes a
the
theme
month
out
by
of it.
what we we give into the bags.
So you're having fun.
Yeah, well, we make it fun.
Yeah, always.
And at one point, it was a couple of years ago, we had a church. I think it was a church gave us a whole bunch of cake mixes and cake things. So for that year,
that was the Girl Scouts from Blackwater.
For that year, we looked on people's applications, and when the kids had birth months or birthdays, that month we'd give them a cake. And
they got a birthday bag.
Exactly, a birthday bag, and we'd make sure that they had a birthday cake and stuff their month.
Yeah.
You guys love this stuff, don't you?
We did.
It is a labor of love, no doubt.
It's an amazing experience. So I want to see both of y'all at the food bank Thursday.
Okay.
What time?
Y'all would absolutely just the feeling that you get volunteering at the food bank is the most amazing experience ever.
I think what hooked me is actually before we took it over. This was right when we started doing Central Feeding Central. We were actually doing it out of here of Lewis Record, giving the Thanksgiving meals away. And we had this couple pull up, and the elderly couple, and she actually hugged me and cried on my shoulder because she was going to have her grandkids in for Thanksgiving, and she did not know where she would get the Thanksgiving meal to give them. And we provided that for them. And she actually, an 80-year-old lady crying on my shoulder that we saved their Thanksgiving for their grandkids for them. And that's what touched my heart and made it all real for me.
What time does second shift start Thursday? What time is second shift Thursday?
12 o'clock.
12. I might be a few minutes. I have an 11 o'clock meeting, but I'll be there soon after 12 as I can get there. Challenge accepted.
One of our senior volunteers.
Yeah, one more. Hey, go ahead one more time. I want to make sure. Give all the information again, if you would. The Facebook page, the website. Where can we get all these details for folks that want to get involved?
So don't do that. My handwriting is terrible. Okay, so our Facebook page is Central Food Bank. That's it. And then our website is cityofcentralfoodbank.com. And like I said, on our website, there's a little donate now button, and you just click the little button and go from there. If you don't want to do that, if you want to make a monetary donation, you can always go to Whitney Bank right there on Hooper and see those amazing people over there. And you can make a donation. They'll take care of the rest. Food donations can always be made. We have barrels at Winn-Dixie. We have barrels at Zor. We have barrels at First Baptist.
And Blackwater United Methodist on Blackwater. They're always calling us that people are dropping off food to them. So You can always go there to drop off food too. They'll get it to us.
The congregation at Blackwater United Methodist Church is the most amazing people. They called me a while back and they got a list of things that we needed. And what they do every so often, like for Easter, for example, they did an Easter food drive and they printed off the grocery list. They attached it to Winn-Dixie bags and they gave it to all of their congregation. And then they went shopping. And then they brought these bags back full. Now, I have a Ford Explorer. When we went and picked it up, it wouldn't have fit in my car. We had to go in his big van to pick everything up. It filled his van. And this is all the time. And the ladies groups, they come and they bring little Debbie cakes just to give people a sweet day.
The schools do so good that, you know, at the beginning of 2020, the food bank had been so successful. We went out and the board approved us to buy a 14-foot box trailer. And we have it graphic up with the food bank logo and stuff. And we have an enclosed trailer now that the food bank owns that we go around to the schools and pick up the barrels in because we were running out of room how to do it.
Yes.
So
That's sweet.
Very nice trailer.
That's some of the accomplishments of the food bank.
I'm going to take you on a little personal diversion for each of you in just a minute, but what else would you like anybody to know about the food bank? Any final comments?
You go first. Ladies first.
Just remember that Central takes care of Central. We take care of each other. We're all family. So we do what has to be done.
And I want, if anybody's seeing this that needs help, don't be afraid to come to the food bank. It's anonymous. We see people at Winn-Dixie or Walmart all the time that are food bank recipients. We do not walk up to you and say, hey, you're a food bank client. You know, privacy is number one with us. Yeah. You will never be called out or embarrassed that you are getting help.
They become part of our family and we take care.
Well, as much time as you all give to the food bank, y'all have regular jobs. Michelle, you mentioned yours before. Of course, it was your dad's company before you. Just tell us briefly about Lewis Record. I figure we take this many hours away from your work day. Let's let you at least say a little word about your business.
Well, you see, now think about it. The food bank has been in existence this year, 35 years. Lewis's Record Service, we are celebrating our 65th year in business. That's right. My grandfather started it in 1956, and then my parents took it over in the 80s. And then I started managing it for my mother after my father passed away. So, Central grown, still going strong.
But you're just a busy lady no matter what, because you got Southern Belle Creations where you make decorations and wreaths and stuff. Then you also work at Winn-Dixie part time. I mean, you're how do I ever see you other than being at the food bank?
That's true.
Kevin, you've got a little company that does coins, correct?
Yes, sir. I work full time at Lewis Record, but then I also run my own business where I do collectibles, coins, currency, comic books, baseball cards, the supplies, the store, all the stuff. I run a full time company also.
Well, Kevin, I try to collect currency, but my wife always takes it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I can see where that happens.
Yeah. But you need
Gordy, any other comments?
No, it's been fascinating. Again, I love the fact that this labor of love that you pour into that. It's really fun. We've dealt with the Baton Rouge Food Bank and Mike Danning for years. They do a wonderful job. But it's so touching to come out and hear your story here in Central. So
now, let me point out that the City of Central Food Bank is an independent food bank. Yeah. We don't get anything from the Baton Rouge Food Bank, Feeding America, anything like that. So everything that we give to our clients comes from the city of Central, from the people in this community. So to me, that is the best of the best. it's us taking care of each other, which is the way it should be.
Very good. We appreciate everything you do and appreciate what Food Bank does for the community, and gosh, all the community partners that support the Food Bank and all the volunteers.
Thank you
Well,
so
thank
much.
you so much for having us and bringing the light to us tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all Thursday, guys.
You can hang with us a few minutes if you like. We're going to touch on a few things going on in the community, and then we're going to sign off.
All
Sounds
right.
good. Thank you.
Sounds good.
So, Gordy, did you get to shop the square Saturday?
And I shot, not only did I shop the square on Saturday, they had a fair. I spent Friday night out there in front of the, I guess, the city hall, if you will, on Hooper. And so what an amazing weekend in Central. But going to shop the square, Dave, I've again, living out here for 10 years, I found out about so many new businesses that I had no idea about. And so I love that shop the square, the events that what the chamber put on. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, band was real well received. Started at 6 o'clock. I stayed through some of that, but when I had some food and visited with a lot of businesses, it was a very, very well attended event and great weather.
Great that, and I love what Michelle said. Central takes care of Central, and so I'm pro for all those events. I mean, stuff that I bring my family just down the road, and support the community that I live in, support the school system that my children go to. Fantastic job with that. Plenty of good food to eat. Spend a few dollars. My daughter is going to break me, and she's only 8. I'm convinced of that. But we had a wonderful time.
He ain't gonna be collecting no currency.
No.
So we did our show last week on sports camps, summer opportunities for the kids, and during this week for this Thursday's paper, we've been collecting information on all the various camps, from football, the baseball, the basketball, et cetera, from the high school. So look in this week's paper, a bunch of camps this year for your kids put on by the high school. And this Thursday at 6:30 at Comite Baptist Church is the Memorial Day service put on by the Geaux 7 chapter of the Blue Star Moms. And that's always a real meaningful time. I hope to see you there Thursday at 6:30. Anything going on around Central we haven't touched on?
I've heard some rumors that Central's supposed to be putting something on at an amazing place on July 3rd.
Yes.
4th of July separation.
There'll be that's right. There'll be a July 3rd. It's something that the city's doing. I don't have too many details. It's supposed to be band and food.
Live music or a band or something.
And I'm sure there'll be fireworks. So amazing place, July 3rd. Watch for the flyers and watch for the Facebook notes. Thank you, Kevin.
Fantastic.
And Dave, I'll be getting with you with the food bank ad for Central Speaks. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Y'all have been awesome.
On the house.
Thank you so much.
Well, I guess this is Go Central, celebrating all the great things in Central, and we'll sign off and see y'all next Monday night at 8.
Thank y'all, Central.
Thank you.
Y'all.
Thank you, Gordy.
Thank you.